Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. If you've been anywhere near the satisfying trades corner of the internet lately, you've probably fallen down the rabbit hole of pool repair content. You know the exact vibe, those chaotic, rapid-fire clips of a professional pool guy grinding right through concrete, ripping up muddy block paving, unscrewing totally rusted machinery, and wrangling massive sheets of vinyl. At first glance, it looks like complete mayhem, but just beneath that fast-paced compilation lies an incredibly precise, highly skilled trade. So today, we're going to slow that footage way down. We're taking those chaotic clips and transforming them into a structured, really fascinating look at blue-collar problem solving. We are going to completely deconstruct the exact anatomy of a pool fix. And if you watch these repairs like we do, you definitely know they all wrap up with this exact signature catchphrase. That's job done. Follow your boy for the pool work. It's basically the ultimate punctuation mark, right? It's the sound of order finally being restored from absolute chaos. In this explainer, we're looking at exactly what goes into earning that phrase. We'll decode the trade secrets, the literal heavy lifting, and the surprisingly intricate mechanical knowledge it takes to drag a broken, leaking, or even frozen luxury item right back to pristine condition. Okay, let's give all this chaos a logical structure and explore a pool from the bottom up. We'll cover 1. Underground plumbing, 2. The mechanical heart, and 3. Surface aesthetics. Kicking things off with Section 1, Underground Plumbing, Digging Deep. Down in this very first layer, we're looking at the hidden, frankly messy disasters. The thing is, these jobs never really start with a clear blueprint. They always start with a symptom. Maybe it's a mysterious puddle forming when the Polaris cleaner is running, or a hiss of air leaking into the manifold, or, and this happens more than you'd think, a customer accidentally drilling straight through their own underground pipes. The fixes for these? Stark, heavy, and incredibly labor-intensive. We're talking smashing up concrete, pulling up heavy block paving, carefully gluing new PVC unions, and backfilling the entire hole with sand and cement. It's a seriously grueling physical contrast to those initial invisible symptoms. Fixing those underground leaks is actually a highly procedural 4-step operation. Step 1, you're digging totally blindly just to find the split. Step 2, you cut the leaking section away with a grinder. Step 3, you carefully glue in straight sockets and unions, and by the way, usually with zero wiggle room. And Step 4, backfill with sand and cement. And get this, the pool guy isn't doing this in some pristine lab. Sometimes he's executing these exact steps standing in freezing mud, literally while the pool is freezing over with ice right next to him. That is some serious dedication to the craft. Moving right along to Section 2, the mechanical heart, the plant room. Getting out of the dirt for a second, let's step into the actual engine room keeping this whole ecosystem alive. When a pool pump completely seizes up, you can't just magically hit a reset button. You have to perform actual mechanical surgery. First, you pop off the middle band to split the pump right in half. You take off the diffuser, remove the impeller, and boom, there's your culprit. A corroded copper cone and a rusted out shaft. The deep satisfaction here comes from sanding down that rust, installing a shiny new cone, fitting a fresh seal, and priming it. You flip that switch, and suddenly a dead block of metal hums right back to life. Now, the plant rooms isn't just about moving the water around, it's about purifying it. You'll often hear trade jargon getting thrown around, so let's quickly demystify one of the big ones, the UV system. This is a secondary disinfectant system added directly into the pipework to clean the water using ultraviolet light. Watching one of these get installed is an absolute masterclass in precision. You mark and drill your screw holes, properly mount the system, and use specialized PVC reducers to drop the unions perfectly into the existing pipe layout, all while that quick-set glue is drying. 2. That is the exact number of massive, incredibly precise holes that literally have to be core drilled straight through the plant room walls just to install an air source heat pump. It really highlights the heavy-duty machinery involved here, because this isn't just twisting a couple pieces of PVC together. It's running heavy flow and return lines right through solid brick, fitting bypass valves, and managing massive commercial-grade equipment just to guarantee a comfortable water temperature. Which brings us to Section 3, Surface Aesthetics, Liners, Lights, and Covers. So now we finally ascend to the visible surface for the most visually stunning tasks, like, say, installing a brand new pool liner. It starts out by clearing out the tracks and unrolling this massive, super heavy sheet of vinyl that's been measured to absolute perfection. Rubber gaskets are placed around all the fittings to create a totally watertight seal. But the real magic happens at Step 3, using a liner vac. They drop this huge vacuum hose behind the vinyl and just suck all the air out. The vacuum pulls that liner incredibly tight, molding it flawlessly to the pool walls before a single drop of water is even added. It is literally engineering masquerading as magic. But, you know, sometimes these aesthetic fixes require you to, well, literally dive right in. One of the most surprising jobs involves fixing missing tiles located way down under the waterline. Instead of draining thousands and thousands of gallons of water, the pool guy just throws on some swimming trunks, straps on his goggles, and dives straight to the bottom. He holds his breath, scrapes away the old adhesive, applies a specialized underwater putty to the replacement tiles, and sticks them right back onto the wall while completely submerged. Talk about full immersion, right? Finally, let's talk covers. We've got to keep the heat in and the debris out, and the nuances of fitting these different covers are actually super fascinating. Take solar roller covers, for instance. They're brilliant because they operate manually or via solar power, which means absolutely no complex electrics running from the plant room. But then you have super covers. They are way heavier and much more complex. Fitting these requires a very specific trick of the trade. When you cut the new heavy-duty straps to attach the cover, you take a lighter and physically burn the ends. Melting that fabric prevents it from fraying under massive tension. It's such a tiny detail, but it's literally the difference between a cover lasting 10 years or 10 weeks. And honestly, that brings our narrative full circle. Whether he's core drilling through solid concrete, diving underwater with a handful of putty, sanding the rust off a seized pump, or digging through frozen mud just to glue a shattered pipe, every single chaotic problem ends with this one simple rhythmic motif. That's job done. It's a huge testament to the fact that if you have enough knowledge, the right tools, and a ton of elbow grease, pretty much any structural disaster can be systematically solved. So I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. What hidden complexities in skilled labor are quietly powering the everyday luxuries we all completely take for granted? When you're looking at a perfectly clear, heated pool, you don't see those glued underground unions, the core-drilled walls, or the burned cover straps. You just see the pristine water. Consider this explainer a quick reminder to look just